A stand against empire. The triumph of Ethiopia at the Battle of Adwa. In a world where colonial empires seemed unstoppable, Ethiopia stood as an unyielding fortress, refusing to bow to foreign domination. The year was 1896, and Italy, confident in its imperial ambitions, sought to conquer this ancient African kingdom. But Ethiopia, under the determined leadership of Emperor Menelik II and Empress II, would not be subjugated. The clash at Adwa wasn't just a battle, it was a fierce declaration of sovereignty that would resonate across continents and throughout history. The battle raged for hours, with both sides suffering casualties. Menelik's strategy of splitting his army and striking from multiple directions had begun to wear down the Italians. By mid-morning, Ethiopian forces had broken through the Italian lines, and the Italians began to retreat in panic, their discipline shattered. Menelik ordered his soldiers to press on, not allowing the Italians any chance to regroup. The Ethiopian forces pursued the retreating Italians with relentless energy. Many Italian soldiers threw down their weapons, surrendering in fear and desperation. Menelik showed mercy, allowing those who surrendered to live, a testament to his strength of character even in the heat of battle. As the day wore on, the remaining Italian forces were either captured or killed. General Baratieri, who had led his men into this catastrophic defeat, managed to escape but would return to Italy in disgrace. The Battle of Adwa was over, and Ethiopia had emerged victorious. News of Ethiopia's triumph spread quickly, not just across Africa but around the world. Ethiopia had done what no other African nation had accomplished. It had successfully repelled a European colonial power. The victory at Adwa sent shockwaves through Europe and inspired other African leaders and resistance movements. Ethiopia's resilience became a beacon of hope, demonstrating that imperial powers were not invincible. The Italians, humiliated and reeling from their loss, recognized Ethiopia's sovereignty, signing the Treaty of Addis Ababa in 1896. Ethiopia maintained its independence, securing its place as a proud and uncolonized nation, a powerful symbol for those still under colonial rule. Menelik and Taitu became legends, their names celebrated by Ethiopians and Pan-Africanists alike. The victory at Adwa marked a turning point in African history. For decades, Ethiopia's success served as a rallying cry for independence movements across the continent. Leaders like Kwame Nkrumah, Jomo Kenyatta, and Julius Nyerere looked to Ethiopia's resilience as they sought freedom for their own nations. The battle became more than a military victory. It was a reminder of the strength and dignity of Africa and its people. Today, Adwa stands as a symbol of Ethiopian pride and African unity. March 1st is celebrated each year in Ethiopia as Adwa Victory Day, a testament to the courage and determination of a people who refused to bow to foreign domination. Ethiopia's flag, bearing green, yellow, and red, became a Pan-African emblem, representing the spirit of freedom that had triumphed against all odds. As the sun sets over the mountains of Adwa, it casts its light over the graves of those who fought for freedom. The mountains remember the warriors' cries, the thundering steps of their march, and the pride of a nation that would not be conquered. Ethiopia remains a country that defied colonial ambitions, forever a symbol of resistance, resilience, and unity. The legacy of Adwa lives on in the hearts of Ethiopians and in the global African diaspora. The victory serves as a reminder that even in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds, courage, unity, and love of freedom can overcome the mightiest of foes. Ethiopia's triumph over colonialism stands as a testament to a timeless truth that the human spirit, when driven by a just cause, is truly unconquerable. In the late 19th century, Ethiopia stood as a beacon of independence in Africa, untouched by the colonial powers that had carved up the continent. As Europe's scramble for Africa intensified, Italy sought to extend its influence into Ethiopia, envisioning a foothold on the Horn of Africa that would bolster its standing as a colonial power. Italy's ambitions grew after occupying Eritrea and parts of Somalia, which they viewed as stepping stones into Ethiopia itself. To secure control, they signed the Treaty of Wuchale with Emperor Menelik II, believing it would give them authority over Ethiopia. However, the Italians had grossly underestimated the Ethiopian people and their leader, Menelik II. When Menelik realized Italy had included a clause claiming Ethiopia as an Italian protectorate, a deceitful addition in the Italian version, he repudiated the treaty, making it clear that Ethiopia would not be anyone's pawn. Tensions mounted, and a sense of urgency filled the Ethiopian highlands. Menelik knew the Italians would respond with force, and he was prepared to meet them head-on. Emperor Menelik II was not just a ruler, he was a unifier. Hailing from the powerful region of Shewa, Menelik knew Ethiopia's strength lay in its unity. He called upon his vassals, the regional nobility, and leaders from all across the empire. From Tigray in the north to Harar in the east, word spread that the emperor needed every able-bodied man to defend the homeland. His wife, Empress Tetu, stood resolute beside him, encouraging women to contribute however they could, including by raising funds and gathering supplies. Tens of thousands answered Menelik's call. With traditional war songs filling the air, Ethiopian warriors journeyed across mountains, rivers, and plains to join the emperor's ranks in a show of solidarity. Menelik's leadership had galvanized Ethiopia in a way no foreign power could understand. The love of their land and freedom resonated in every heart. Menelik's army camped at the ancient town of Adwa, where they prepared for the Italian invasion. Scouts reported that the Italians were marching with a force of over 17,000 men, well armed with rifles, artillery, and modern equipment. But Menelik had a strategic mind and understood that numbers alone could not win this battle. He needed to outsmart the Italians and exploit his knowledge of the land. Ethiopian warriors carried shields, spears, and swords, some wielding older firearms. The Italian army, under General Baratieri, held a false sense of security, believing their technological superiority would be enough to crush the Ethiopians. But Menelik's resolve and the morale of his warriors painted a different picture. He divided his forces into 3 groups, with himself leading one, his wife Empress Tetu commanding the reserves, and regional leaders taking charge of the others. They moved strategically, positioning themselves in the mountainous terrain where they could gain the advantage. Empress Tetu was a force in her own right. Her influence on Menelik and her military insights inspired the warriors, and her encouragement helped solidify a collective determination. She personally directed the water supply and provisions, ensuring her people had the endurance they needed for a long struggle. At dawn on March 1st, 1896, the Italians advanced, their soldiers unaware of the strength and determination of the Ethiopian forces. Menelik's army had used the mountainous terrain to its advantage, hiding in valleys and blending into the landscape until the perfect moment. As the sun crested the mountains, Ethiopians poured down upon the Italians with ferocity, descending like a powerful river. The Italians were shocked by the Ethiopian warriors' bravery and resilience. Menelik's forces struck in waves, overwhelming the Italians with their numbers and unwavering spirit. The Italians had planned for a quick victory, but the Ethiopians attacked with a relentless fury that shook the invaders to their core. Ethiopian horns and war cries echoed through the mountains as Italian soldiers struggled to maintain their lines. Empress Tetu led a reserve attack, unleashing a well-timed offensive that caught the Italians off guard. Her courage and tactical prowess became legendary that day. Many Ethiopian women followed her example, joining the front lines to aid their families, carrying supplies, and encouraging the fighters. The Italians were surrounded and disoriented, unable to use their artillery effectively in the rough terrain.